Hey, Alpha Fam, welcome back to another episode of Alpha Commission. Today on Alpha Commission, of course, we're going to go over the dump on the stocks exchange, as well as just pretend that we cannot see LUNC, Mr. Luna Classic, or as I like to call it, lunch over here, just taking up the majority of my screen. This is absolutely disgusting. How do I delete this, guys, just to get it out of my vision? Just disgusting chain, disgusting people at the head of it, right? I mean, I guess if they revive it, more power to them. I guess a lot of innocent victims are involved in Luna Classic, and maybe there are some sincere intentions. But as we look forward to a bear market, don't you just get the feeling that these devs sitting high and mighty at the top of these Luna chains, or I guess ahead of the lunch line over here, don't you get the feeling that they are going to dump this on your heads? That you guys are going to be victims of another Luna rug pull? Don't you get that feeling of kind of a KUCOIN going parabolic, and then they're going to dump on you and rob you blind again? I just have that feeling. I don't trust these guys. I don't want to see this chain redeveloped. I don't like anything having to do with this. I don't like Do Kwon. So as soon as this deflates, I'll be happy again. But moving on, we do see that stocks did take a pretty sizable hit yesterday. The indices just did continue to drop in a pretty traumatic manner. And we can see this over here on the NASDAQ 100. Let me just turn off my EMAs, and you can see how this kind of a knife is just, this is just a falling knife. Really reminds me of the start of the bear market up here, right? Where we first had those major pushes down. I mean, this is ugly, guys. This is very ugly. It looks like the bottom right here, this really kind of capitulation moment, or the beginning when it was just terror, right? And so this doesn't look over at all. And if we throw on some lines, you can see that that was a fake out after all. We did just come back to my zone here, right? This is kind of the level that I've been eyeballing to see if we could get any type of a bounce. We do not look bouncy, guys. We do not look bouncy. This thing has poked through my level. And, for me at least, that would suggest it probably wants to explore lower, perhaps to this diagonal right here, or even to make new lows. And if we bring our EMAs back into play, then you can see that, this look right here, right? It's a bit hard to see, but this look right here on the EMAs, you can see all these negative crosses happening, right? You see this red EMA, the 9's just pushing down, the 4 EMA over here just pushing down, getting below everything. And so all of this is having a negative cross, very similar to what happened right here. Very similar to what happened right here. Okay, and so what did those moves have in store for them? Well, we had basically a 18% drop, and this is the stock market. This isn't even crypto. Crypto is like double this, and this was a 20% move. So, overall, could you expect like 15 to 20% down? Maybe, maybe. Where would that bring us? Let's just take it from the crossing there, somewhere right here around 9,900. Throw my lines back on. Oh, hey, look at that. Wow. Wow. That is a very painful point to look at. Wow, that is extremely low. Extremely low. I mean, if this just ends up working out, its EMAs the way that it's worked out for, This could get very ugly. Now, because of the support in this area right here, maybe we just make a double bottom, or maybe we just make a little bit of a lower low, and then kind of start going sideways or something. But if you look at the past, okay, like these levels get pretty well respected, and you can carve pretty deeply in them. And that third level down there in those $9,000 area, right? That 10,000, $9,000 area, like that gets pretty well filled. So that's highly possible. And then if we do just have like a terror in the market, we could even spike down to these $8,500 levels, and that would just destroy everybody's feelings about this market. I mean, the market would be obliterated, basically. Okay, crypto would be obliterated. But yeah, let's not look that bearish right now. It could turn around. This could just surprise us. There is a little bit of support in this area. You see these nice bounces right there. And so perhaps we just come down to these levels, either, do a double bounce here or find some support, and maybe we just chop our way through this, okay? But anyway, I'm not really seeing, you know, much of an indication of a likely bounce here. Maybe tomorrow will surprise us. Maybe the end of the week will surprise us. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit more down, and then, yeah, a lot of this. There could be a bounce coming up, but maybe a little bit more down. I'm not sure. Guys, we're gonna have to just keep monitoring this. It's very ugly. All of these crosses are very ugly. Okay. Going over to the Bitcoin chart, we did maintain our momentum levels more or less from yesterday. We do have fresh momentum levels, so I have already pre-updated it. And again, the momentum levels are just coming down with the price action. So, we're basically maintaining it, and we'd like to see this price action get above this 20,000. Let's just call it 200, 20,200-ish area. We want to kind of reclaim that. That's a 9 EMA here, so let's go ahead and just say 20,500 is going to make us more comfortable. But hey, if you just want to go by the momentum oscillators, if you want to go by the Stokes and like the MACD, then you're pretty much in that area. Like you can just hang on to this area, go sideways, and you're going to maintain your potential bullish momentum. Unlike stocks, crypto has not fallen to a lower level, even though stocks are dramatically falling. And so this level is holding, you know. Surprise, surprise, that level is holding. And so everything I said yesterday about this falling wedge, it still remains potentially true, which is to say that, if we do get a pump here, that, even reasonably speaking, if we do continue to fall, just a surprise pump to this kind of $21,500 area, just to kind of reclaim these candles, that would be normal. And then if we can get above there, then maybe we could even do the full range up to this 24,000. But most likely we're going to be cut off a little bit early, right? So, because this is overall a bearish pattern that's playing out, not this wedge, but just in general in the market, bearish downturn. And stocks really don't have our backs right now. But if stocks do turn around, then maybe this plays out by the end of the week to the upside. So, hey guys, there's your hopium for Bitcoin. It's just kind of like hovering around the area there that it needs to hover around. And so far, doing a good job. But is this a bit of a bear flag? This isn't just a bullish pattern. This is also a little bit of a bear flag here, and we could see ourselves dropping down to those $1,700 levels. Who knows? Maybe 18,000, 19,000, 17,000. These are all within range right now, okay, guys? So, it's happened before, and it can happen again. And the extension, again, I'm not 100% perfect on this one because of this wick and whatnot, but and I'm not really sure exactly how to line it up with this candle right here. But we do have a measured move that could take us down significantly to that $10,000 range. So just to be aware that if this bear flag isn't invalidated soon, that it does have a measured move to 10,000 bucks, which might not hit. Actually, we could have something really conservative happen, like perhaps we get caught on these kind of cross diagonals over here, something like this, maybe around 16,000, 15,000, maybe even just double bottom at 17,000. It just depends on how well Bitcoin holds up overall, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I'm just neutral right now, just watching how this plays out because uh, Bitcoin surprisingly is holding on pretty well. The monthly close wasn't that terrible on the regular 24/7 exchange Bitcoin, but on the professional exchange, it was a little bit uglier. So let me just get rid of these drawings. A little bit uglier here. Just not beautiful, right? And if you do take a look at our monthly EMAs there, we got all sorts of negative crosses coming up, potentially pushing us down even further. This is not a good look, guys. And so what can I say? It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. It looks like there may be more downside, okay, in store for stocks and in store for crypto. But right now, at least for right now, Bitcoin is holding its levels pretty well. It has violated its previous all-time high for basically the fourth straight month. Well, if you can consider us in the fourth month. And we really just haven't reclaimed anything of significance. Let's take a look at the weekly. We basically retested the 200s, both of them, and got rejected on the CME. So that's not good. Right? That's not good. Moving over to Ethereum, you can see that Ethereum on the weekly, basically same type of deal, right? Kind of bounced up here, you know, got into kind of an interesting little squeeze formation, still trying to hold on to that squeeze formation, but getting a little trapped under the 200 weekly EMA. So we're going to have to monitor this because while ETH technically has the ability to recover this move, um, right now it's under the 4 EMA and it's under the 200, and it could potentially be getting just hard rejected. So we'll just keep on top of that. On the daily, mm, I mean, potential to get potential to pop up. I mean, this is a very neutral look right here in terms of the next move, right? It could easily just pop up as it could break down. So just kind of a waiting formation. And if we look at the momentum for ETH, I mean, just straight up, you're meeting the requirements for bullish momentum. There's nothing else I can say about that. It's meeting the requirements for bullish momentum. That play to the upside still may be possible, and you're going to recapture your 2-day momentum if you can get over 1650. But this thing could also just could just break down and to fill in this CME gap down here. Speaking of the CME gaps for Ethereum, if you remember a couple days ago, I was showing you we opened up a new gap, and I suggested that most likely we were going to fill it, and then by filling it, we would be free to come back down. Well, it looks like we filled it, and then we kind of tested our 10, right, on the CME chart, and it looks like we're getting rejected from the 10. So the CME chart, the Ethereum CME chart looks much uglier than the ETH 24/7 exchange chart. Uh, This one at least is holding close and above the 4 EMA. And it's snugly holding on to the just barely onto that 9 EMA, suggesting the possibility to squeeze up. And it's also in that nice momentum area. But ETH on the CME chart, it's just well below its momentum area. And to capture its 2-day, it needs to get above 1930. That's insane. I mean, it's not going to capture that. And so, I mean, and it's pretty far away. I mean, it could pump because Ethereum can definitely pump. So it can recapture this momentum on the daily. It just looks much worse than the regular Ethereum chart. That's all I'm going to say about that. Guys, again, like stocks are dumping, okay? Stocks are just dumping, and we really haven't seen them put in a hard floor yet. Look at how the S&P closed here. Look at that. Look at that. This is mid dump, okay? Like S&P hasn't finished dumping yet. So a lot of the pressure in the market is still going to be to the downside. You should probably just buckle up and make sure that you have your risk management in order, just in case this thing doesn't catch support. Just in case, as the S&P pushes down, that the other indices don't continue to push down as well, and perhaps just put the fear of God in this market. Where everything just capitulates. Okay, guys, we might be looking towards much lower prices. Let's go ahead and go over to the VIX. You know, it's above the 4 EMA on the daily, so bullish, bullish. DXY pushing up, bullish. USDT dominance, just going sideways. It looks pretty good. So, guys, again, like all those three factors, the VIX, the DXY, USDT, you do not want those things to be bullish. That's bad for the market. And so those three things are going against us, that volatility, the US dollar, and also the tether dominance, all three of those things going against us. So today was a hard trade day. Well, now you know why, right? And let's go ahead and take a look at the ramifications of this stuff. If we look at Kadena, I did clean up the chart just a little bit, just tidied up, trying to make a little bit more of a conforming look on my charts. And you can see that we're still very nicely holding on to that support area, but that we did once again lose that diagonal. And so we're just bearishly underneath the 4 EMA, underneath the 9 EMA on the daily, and that's not a good look. We could potentially test the bottom of that support and then even break down to these lower ranges, okay? So just be aware, guys, that a lot of risk right now, a lot of risk right now, okay? Same thing for Zilliqa, really just pushing the bottom of that support area, really pushing it to its limits. And ADA, pretty similar. They're all doing pretty much the same thing, okay, guys? Still have to clean up a couple of these charts. I'll try to make this a little bit nicer as we go along. But Bitcoin, I mean, Bitcoin and Ethereum, really trying to hang on while the rest of the market, the stock market is dumping. So we'll be paying attention. That's going to be it. Just a 20-minute market update. And so that was your alpha for the day. Stay safe and happy trading.